Unemployed people can't open an account, can they? This was the bank where I used to work. I had quit for various reasons, but this time I had some business there. I ran into a former colleague who mocked me. Unemployed people can't open an account, he said. Michael, the banker who betrayed me, wore a nasty smile. It's about time you cut ties with us. Got it. You'll regret it, though. I said angrily and decided to close my account as instructed to cut ties. As a result, Michael would see hell. But it also ended up saving him. I am Alex, and I have a wife named Emily and a young daughter named Lily. I graduated from the economics department of a prestigious university and used to work at a bank. I met my wife during my college years. Hey, are you Alex? Yeah, that's me. My name is Emily. At that time, I thought of her as just another student at the same university, but when she approached me, I began to notice her. Why did you talk to me? Because I admired how you pursued your goals, and I saw you helping an elderly woman the other day. You saw that? Yes. That's when I knew you were the one. And most importantly, you're honest and serious. I like people like that. Thank you. With her passionate approach, we started dating. Incidentally, I chose to study economics because of my father. He always said, running a company is about people and money, so I followed his philosophy and majored in economics. My father, Robert, once ran a small business. He managed a company with fewer than 20 employees and held on to that belief. Seeing him struggle, I empathized and pursued the same philosophy in my education. Unfortunately, my father passed away from an illness before I graduated, joining my mother in heaven, who had died earlier in a car accident. It makes sense now why you were so straightforward. It's because of your father's influence. Really? Yes. Let me help you. I can't replace your parents, but I'll support you now. Thank you, Emily. After graduating from university, I joined a bank to work in the flow of money. Just as Emily praised, I worked honestly and diligently. Alex, you're really fast at your job. Yeah, and accurate too. People like you are called the elite. Is Alex single? I heard he's engaged. Too bad. I thought an elite banker would be great. My dedication earned me high evaluations from those around me. I probably think faster than most people. Thanks to that, I handled tasks one after another. As a result, I became known as a rising star. Alex, aren't you getting a bit cocky lately? Yeah, getting all that attention from the girls must be nice. Seriously, he's just doing his job, so why does he get all the praise? At the same time, I also faced gossip and jealousy from my colleagues. I knew they often whispered behind my back. They're just jealous of you, Alex, Emily said. Jealous? Yeah. They're envious of you how handle your work so well and are the rising star of the company. It made sense after Emily explained it to me. So, they were jealous of me. But I was just doing my job. With that in mind, I tried not to let it bother me, but there was one person who was particularly troublesome. Hey, Alex. What is it, Michael? The elite sure act high and mighty. If you have no business with me, leave me alone. That was Michael. Michael seemed to see me as his enemy and constantly tried to provoke me. While I could ignore other colleagues, Michael would go out of his way to interfere with my work, making him a real nuisance. What the hell? Why are you assigned to the central branch before me? There's no point in complaining to me. Upper management makes those decisions. Michael had always wanted to be assigned to the central branch, so my assignment there before him made things worse. Before that, Michael wasn't hostile. He was focused on his work just like I was. We had a good relationship until my assignment, after which he started gossiping and harassing me. I never understood why he was so obsessed with the central branch, but his presence became a real problem for me. For a while, I had good superiors and worked peacefully at the central branch. But my peace was shattered when Michael was assigned there a year later. You don't belong here. If you have something to say it clearly. Nothing. Aren't you being a bit self-centered? Then Michael's harassment resumed. He'd make snide comments as we passed each other. Whoa. Oops, sorry. "Didn't see your shoes there," he said, spilling coffee on my freshly polished shoes. He'd also bump into me on purpose, throw away important documents claiming he thought they were trash, and more. It was becoming hard to get any work done. Except for my boss, David, everyone else basically ignored the harassment I faced. They probably found it bothersome to get involved and didn't like how much attention I received. Around that time, a fraudulent loan incident occurred. The financial statements of the clients Michael and I managed were falsified, and the bank was accused of turning a blind eye. "There's an accusation that you orchestrated this." "No, I didn't. I have nothing to do with it." "Who would say that? He's not the type to do such things." "There's no evidence." The accuser wishes to remain anonymous to avoid retaliation. "This is your responsibility." "That's impossible. Despite my innocence, I was held responsible." "Serves you right." "You were getting too cocky," Michael sneered. "Michael, it was you, wasn't it? Who knows what you're talking about?" From his attitude, I realized Michael had set me up. I was just doing my job, but now I was caught in this mess. I was fed up with the backstabbing. "Hey, Alex. Sorry for the trouble. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong, right?" "Yes, really, I did nothing wrong." "So, do you really have to stay a banker?" "What do you mean? I hate seeing you so stressed." "Fortunately, my job is going well." "Maybe you don't need to force yourself to stay a banker?" Encouraged by Emily, I decided to quit the bank on my own. "Good riddance." "Goodbye, you unemployed loser." Michael sneered as I left. "Emily. What is it?" "I've got another job lined up, but at first, it'll be tough, and you'll have to bear a lot." "Will you still stay with me?" "Of course. I planned on it from the beginning." With Emily's support, I started my new job. After things stabilized, we got married and had a daughter. Years passed since I left the bank. I grew tired of the internal competition among colleagues, but I still had a fondness for the bank itself. I also took pride in the work I did as a banker. That's why I continued to use the bank as a customer. Today, I was heading to the bank to use my safe deposit box. "I'll come pick you up later." "Yeah, see you later." "Daddy, come back soon." "I will, I promise." Waving to Emily and our daughter heading to the park, I entered the bank. "Sorry to keep you waiting." "Wait, is that you, Alex?" "Michael." There I ran into Michael again. "Long time no see." "Judging by your outfit, you're still unemployed, aren't you?" "No, I'm just off today." "Off today?" "More like off every day, right?" I was dressed casually today because I planned to go to the park. That made Michael mistakenly think I was still unemployed, and he mocked me. "Using a safe deposit box? An unemployed person can't have a bank account, can they?" Michael continued to be rude. Honestly, he was the last person I wanted to see. "Unemployed people can't have a bank account," Michael said with that nasty smile. I was starting to get really angry. All the harassment I endured when I last saw him flashed through my mind, and I thought it might be time to fight back. "It's about time you cut ties with us." "Got it. You'll regret it, though." "I won't regret anything." "Now, get out, you unemployed pauper." "Sure. But first, I'm closing my safe deposit box and account." "Go ahead." After making my declaration, I left the bank. "Daddy." "That was quick," Emily said. "Things happened. I'll tell you at home." "I need your help with something too." "Doesn't sound good." "Okay, anyone who hurts you won't get away with it. Take it easy, okay?" "Daddy, play with me." "Alright, let's play." The next day, I was at home with Emily. Our daughter was being looked after by Emily's parents. "Thank you for giving us your time today. Also, we're truly sorry. Please, come in." Soon, my former bank manager David arrived, dragging Michael by the scruff of his neck to apologize. If Alex, one of our major clients, closes his account, our branch could be in serious trouble. "We sincerely apologize. This was my failure in oversight." David bowed deeply, apologizing with all his might. I understand your position, David. But it seems that this person doesn't share your sentiments. Emily said coldly, looking at Michael, who was being forced to bow his head. Do you have something to say to my husband? We don't need the account of someone who caused a scandal, Michael muttered. Michael! Do you not understand why you're here? David shouted. Let him say what he wants. Michael muttered without showing any remorse, prompting David to shout at him. Emily stepped in and confronted Michael, stopping David. The money in that account is probably dirty anyway. Unfortunately for you, I know this man well from our university days. He's incapable of such things, and you know that too, don't you? Emily said. But he did cause a scandal, didn't he? Michael retorted. Yes, because someone set him up. Alex would never do such a thing. Is there any actual evidence? Emily challenged. Well, Michael hesitated. Seizing the moment, I turned to David. David, can you investigate the fraudulent loan incident again? If the truth comes out, I'll reconsider closing my account. Thank you. I'll look into it right away, David replied. If you need experts, let me know. I have connections, I added. Yes, thank you. David agreed and left, dragging Michael with him. I'll make some calls, Emily said. Please do, I replied. This is the perfect chance to clear your name. I'll make sure it happens, Emily assured me. You're really dependable, Emily. Thank you. With the help of experts arranged by Emily, David's investigation revealed that Michael was behind the falsified financial statements. When we checked the security cameras from that time, we saw Michael tampering with the documents. Also, the person your wife recommended interviewed Michael's colleagues, and they admitted to being coerced by him. David reported a few days later. And what happened to Michael? I asked. Considering this incident, he has been dismissed, David confirmed. Thus, my name was cleared after several years. Thank you for thoroughly investigating. I look forward to working with you again. Yes, I look forward to it as well, David responded. Don't be so formal, I'm still your former subordinate, you know? I laughed. Well, now you're a client. If it bothers you, I can stop. No, please continue. Let's keep things as they were, I insisted. All right, I understand. Let's work well together, David agreed. Yes. We continued our business relationship with the bank. The reason David took such actions was because I had started a business and opened an account with $50 million in it. After leaving the bank, I had launched a recruitment service specializing in banking, finance, and accounting professionals. Having spent several years as a banker, I wanted to leverage that experience and, under the philosophy of running a company is about people and money, I focused on a business that dealt with the people who handled money. Leave the financial side to me. My law practice has just taken off, Emily said. Thank you, Emily, I replied. Sure, but only if you sign an exclusive contract with my firm. All right, I'll count on you then. With Emily's support as a lawyer, I successfully started my business. The first year was tough, as I had to earn the trust of various companies. Many contacts from my banking days knew about the scandal, making them skeptical. Still, by being diligent and straightforward, I eventually earned their trust. We're so glad we entrusted our business to Alex's firm. No, I'm just happy we could help. Now, our firm is well regarded enough to handle executive placements. The $50 million account belonged to this company. I can't thank you enough, Emily. And you've helped me in so many ways you don't even realize, Alex. The fact that so many people are celebrating us shows how well you've done. Do you think so? When we got married after our business stabilized, we were showered with congratulations. Leaving the bank allowed me to find happiness. For that, I was oddly grateful to Michael. I did wonder about his future. Despite his harassment and betrayal, I'd seen him do his job diligently many times. Had I not been involved, Michael would have been a decent guy. So, he often crossed my mind. It really is Michael. One day, while reviewing new registrants for our recruitment service, I came across a familiar name. Sure enough, it was Michael. After being fired from the bank, he had registered with our service. His career consultation is today. All right. I decided to personally attend Michael's career consultation. What? Alex. You work here? Not just work here. I started this company, I said, handing him my business card as the president. Michael looked shocked. Even after I framed you and you left the bank, you didn't give up and started your own business? Yeah. With my wife's support, it grew to this size. That's truly impressive, Alex. Oh. Michael stood up and bowed deeply to me. I'm really sorry for everything. For the harassment and for framing you. I apologize sincerely. I needed to hear your apology. So it's okay now. Let's talk about work. Thank you, Alex. We discussed his next job thoroughly. It became clear that Michael genuinely intended to work honestly and had changed. Honestly, being fired is a significant black mark on your record. Yeah, I understand. So, it will be a small company that hasn't received many applicants. Is that all right? Of course. I'll do any job if they'll have me. All right. I'll explain the situation to them. That's fine with me. I introduced Michael to a small company that had struggled to find applicants, explaining the situation, including his past with the fraudulent loan incident. Alex, you believe he's changed, right? Yes. He's genuinely remorseful and committed to working honestly now. He was always a diligent and skilled worker. All right. Despite his past, if he's sincere now, we'll accept him. Thank you very much. With that agreement, Michael secured his job at the small company. Given his high skill level, he thrived and became a reliable presence for everyone there. Hey, Michael. There's something that's been on my mind for a long time. What is it? After things had settled down, I invited him out for a drink. He accepted readily, and over drinks, I decided to ask what had been bothering me. Why did you harass me so much? It started when I was assigned to the central branch, right? Yeah. Honestly, I was jealous. You got assigned to the branch I wanted to go to, the one my parents pushed me towards. Your parents? Michael looked a bit troubled but started to explain. My father was a banker too. He raised me to become a banker like him and reach high positions. That sounds tough. It was. Besides studying, I wasn't allowed to do much. The central branch was where my father worked, and he said I'd have to work there to succeed. I thought becoming a banker would make him proud, but instead, he just ordered me around. Didn't you ever rebel? When I was young, I once went out to play instead of studying. He locked me in the closet for a while and lectured me. That trauma kept me from ever rebelling. I was honestly surprised. I knew nothing about Michael's past, but he had clearly endured a lot. My mother supported my father's strict ways too. They called it a gifted education, but looking back, it was just their values being forced on me. That must have been hard. Did you suffer a lot? Yeah. I was always under pressure. So when you got assigned to the central branch without seeming to struggle, I couldn't stand it and acted childishly. I'm really sorry. I told you, no more apologies. My father heard about you, someone better than me, and told me to bring you down. Quite the father you have. He had been taught from a young age to push down anyone better than him. His father had risen through the ranks that way, after all. But when the incident was uncovered and I got fired. Yeah. My father disowned me, saying I was no longer his son if I wasn't a banker, and threw me out. Are you okay now? I'm fine now. The company let me stay in the employee dormitory. Honestly, I'm relieved. Really? Yes. I'm finally free from my parents and can work as myself. As long as you're okay with it. I'm grateful to you. When I was in despair, having lost my job and my parents' support, you offered me a hand. Thank you so much. I'm glad. Your good work is helping our company's reputation too. I'm glad I could contribute. Michael smiled, genuinely happy, a stark contrast to the sneer he used to wear. Emily, can you ask the people who helped us before to help again? Sure, but why? When I got home, I told Emily about Michael. That sounds like a rewarding challenge. I'll get in touch right away. Thanks to Emily's connections, an investigation into Michael's father began. They uncovered multiple frauds, leading to his downfall and a massive debt from damages. Alex, you had something to do with this, didn't you? Who knows what you're talking about? Really? Anyway, my father contacted me. Really? Yeah. He demanded I help repay his debt and support their living. I blocked his number, saying their son no longer exists. Be careful, though. Yeah. I haven't told them about my current company, and I've explained everything to my boss, so they won't be able to reach me. Then you're good. Yeah, thanks again. After my call with Michael, I received a message from the office that a couple claiming to be Michael's parents had shown up. Excuse me, you're looking for someone our company recommended? Are you the president? I'm Michael's father. Tell me where that fool is. I'm afraid I can't disclose that information. It's confidential. Confidential? We're his parents. Yes, and he told me about you. Please stop obsessing over your disowned son. What? By the way, I'm the one who investigated and caused your downfall. You did this. How dare you? If you lay a hand on my husband, I won't just call the police. Emily said, stepping in just as his father was about to strike me. We have reports and evidence of your actions. And who are you? I'm Alex's wife and a lawyer. A lawyer? And I've been hired by your former son as well. Be prepared for the consequences. Watching Emily chase them away was impressive, and I couldn't help but admire her. Thanks to Emily's efforts, Michael was able to sever ties with his parents completely and was very grateful. Having turned over a new leaf, Michael was working diligently. I heard that the daughter of the company's president was quite taken with him. Recently, he told me they had started dating after she confessed her feelings. If we get married, will you come? Of course. Seeing Michael's happy face put me at ease. I should also thank the people who helped Emily. Yes. Actually, I've promised to treat them to dinner soon. Do you want to join us? Sure, but is that all right with them? It's fine. My contacts are a detective couple, and they're coming together, so it's okay for you to join. Really? Then I'd love to join. I heard they have a son about the same age as our daughter. Maybe we could have a family picnic? That sounds like a great idea. Thanks to Emily, our social circle continued to expand. The detective couple, the Smiths, were quite an interesting pair. We're the Smiths, running a detective agency. I'm Jessica, his wife. And I'm Alex, Emily's husband. Emily has told us a lot about you. Alex, always keep a voice recorder handy for emergencies. And if possible, having video evidence is even better. Ha ha. They handed me a small voice recorder and camera, making me chuckle. So, how did you two meet Emily? We were high school classmates. She always wanted to be a lawyer. Having connections with detectives and private investigators is quite handy. Interesting. We gather all sorts of evidence. And we promised to stand up for the weak. We couldn't attend the wedding, so it's nice to finally meet you. You didn't invite them to the wedding? You seem close. We're very close. They were just overseas at the time. I see. So, you were out training to be detectives? Yeah, we couldn't make it to the wedding because we were abroad for the training. We had our wedding overseas too. I wondered what kind of training they had for detectives. It's a bit unconventional, but that's what makes it interesting. Indeed. They're a bit unconventional, but talking with them is enjoyable. The Smiths couple is always smiling, which naturally makes us smile too. So, I heard you often talked about me. Oh, it's nothing. Emily tried to cover up hastily, making me wonder if she had been venting about me. Emily's really smitten with Alex, Jessica said. Yeah, every time we talk, it's always about how great he is. Hey. Thanks, Emily. So, she was gushing about me. Come to think of it, Michael once told me, you always gush when talking about your wife. In a way, Emily and I might be a lot like the Smiths. While we were getting to know the detective couple better, our daughter and Kevin's son, Matt, also became close friends before we knew it. While we chatted, we noticed they were happily holding hands. "I will marry Matt. Then I will protect Lily." Wait. Isn't it a bit too soon for that? I was a bit flustered when they promised to get married. When I shared this story with David during his recent visit, he laughed heartily. "I'm glad everything worked out for everyone." "I'm sorry, Alex. If I had been a better supervisor, I could have prevented this. You weren't the branch manager yet when I was there. It wasn't your fault." "Still, I should have noticed," he insisted. After the incident, David stepped down from his position as branch manager, feeling responsible. He considered resigning, but the bank persuaded him to stay, and now he's starting over from scratch. "Now, I'm mostly focused on mentoring younger employees," says David. "When I was his subordinate, David was always supportive. In the beginning, he patiently answered my questions and taught me a lot. He was great at giving advice and praise, motivating me to work hard. Michael, if you have time to complain, you have time to work. Your work is highly regarded, and we rely on you," he'd say. "Yes, sir." Despite everyone else ignoring the harassment from Michael, David was the only one who noticed and addressed it. David generally supported him, which made him listen. Even during the false accusation, David stood up for me, arguing with higher-ups about the lack of evidence. He was always respectful, using formal language even after I became a client, and he knew how to properly reprimand when needed. That's the kind of person he is. "By the way, Michael wants to invite you to his wedding," I told David. "I'd love to attend." "It seems a bit soon, though. They're both new to dating, but they're really into each other. It's good they're happy together." And so, a while later, we were all invited to Michael's wedding, where we celebrated their union. Since then, Michael has been more dedicated to his work than ever. Of course, I'm not slacking either. I'm focused on helping as many people as possible find the right jobs. Alright, for this case. Oh. However, there was an exception. I noticed Michael's father's name in our company's registration. Why would he register with our company? I asked someone to verify and then remove the registration. "What a brazen man," Emily commented. "Maybe he was trying to get information on Michael," I replied. "He didn't even attend the wedding. He had controlled Michael's life so much. This was just karma." I resolved to continue facing my work with honesty and integrity. "Alex, because you're honest, people trust you and rely on you," Emily said. "And because you faced me honestly, we've found happiness," I replied. "Thank you," she smiled. "Thank you too. Honesty is really the best policy." Michael and I still occasionally go out for drinks. Sometimes David joins us, and we discuss work or recommend things to each other. I talk about games, Michael shares anime and manga, and David discusses novels. Honesty is the best policy. Michael often says during our drinking sessions. "That's right. So be honest and bless the girl who says marry you," I teased. "Ah, that's a different matter." Michael grumbled.